our show was much more woman-centered than what I have previously seen in the Star Wars world.
What are you talking about?
What makes you say that?
We were hunted, persecuted, forced into hiding. All because some would consider our power dumb.
It's ironic.
We were on the brink of extinction. We were blessed with a miracle. The gift of life.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Power of one. The power of two. The power of one. Imagine that! The power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
What the hell?
Yes, yes.
Hey, yes. Yes. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another late night. Unfortunately, Risman is still missing. I don't know if he might have died on the toilet. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I don't know. He was having some troubles with his microphone early on, so maybe he's getting those fixed. Maybe he'll be back soon. I'm not 100% sure. But hello, chat. What's up? We are here to talk about the state of Star Wars today. We're here to talk about The Acolyte, the last episode, which has been widely hailed on the internet as sensational, absolutely sensational. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the fandom and the state of the fandom and everything that we've been seeing because, oh my gosh, it hasn't been exactly what I would call cordial as of late between Star Wars fans. We've seen some issues. In particular, one large Star Wars YouTuber has been getting quite a bit of hate, enough so that another Star Wars encyclopedia page could be getting sued for defamation. It's just incredible to watch. All over a Leslie Headland show, former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein. The morality clause is muddled there. That's a very interesting one. But what's up, chat? Let's say what's up to everybody. Stephen Brown is here. What's going on? Dan says, hell yeah. Good to see you, man. Glad to see you here. Vimo Rain says, hello. Wicked Virtue sent me here. What do we do here? We have fun. That's it. We try to have fun as best we can. King's Advisors is here. What's up? Risk it for the biscuit. Hello. Witch King Angmar is here. What's up, dude? I did get your Instagram message about the links to the I don't remember the name of the software, but I will be listening to those tonight. Maybe we'll do one at the end of the stream or something. That could be fun. Listen to one of those things. I don't know. Blossom Flower Child is here. Hello. What's up? Everscale. Good to see you. Doom Guy. SJ Eldritch. Good to see you, buddy. The Real Super Shadow is here. Daisy Blossom Flower Child. I just said your name, but I just had to say it twice. Thank you again for that the super chat on the gaming stream. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. We finally bought we got the first boss in Elden Ring beaten, which was awesome. Darth Bayou, my good friend, is here. What's up, dude? Good to see you again, man. I always love seeing your face around here. Matt Tuina's here. What's up, brother? Dengar Renegade. Good to see you. Star Wars Dog, my moderator, my homie, my brother. Good to see you, man. Glad to have you here. Risk it. Gray Pilgrim. See, this is the problem. Chat. You guys are chatting too much. It moves too quick. I want to say hi to everyone. The Great Pilgrim is here. Good to see you. Peak OB1 is here. Good to see you, brother. Haran the Blue is in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Mash is here. Hello. And Star Wars Dog, member for 19 months, says, hey, brother. What's up, bud? Good to see you, man. 16-bit mascot is in the chat. And, ooh, Star Wars Dog comes in and drops 5 gifted memberships to the community. Where's my thing? Where's the thing? Do the jingle. Ding. And there goes the stream. It is now demonetized. I love it. I love it. Eldritch is here, says, have a drink, have UFC 303 on in the background. Thanks go out to Captain Jack, and I'm ready for some space lesbian scissoring. Oh, do we have that for you, buddy? It is on the list. Doom Guy is here. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Joey Ebbs is here. The Beskar Man is here. Good to see you, brother. Okay, is that everyone? Did I get everyone? Oh, of course not. My brother, Drunk 3PO. Check Twitter. I sent you a link if you want to pop on. I lost my co-host. I don't know where he went. I hope he's okay. I don't know. Andy Masterson is in the chat. What's up, brother? Al Davis is here. Good to see you, my friend. Crypto Bendu is in the house. There's a big difference. Bad mic or bad bowel. Though I don't have any evidence, it's entirely possible that's exactly what's going on here. I don't know. John Graber, the space jockey's in the chat, said Rissman is old and probably fell asleep. It could have happened. Mary Lanning is here. Hello. Good to see you. Jet is here. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. And Mrs. 2 Star Wars Nerds is here. Throwing a wave. What's up, Mrs. 2 Star Wars Nerds? Your hubby and I have been talking some God stuff. It's been wonderful. Echo Based Network is here. I am awesome. Hello, me. Hello, you. Good to see you. You know what? I'm going to send you a link too. I don't know if you can show up, but I'm going to send you a link because I want you to. We'll see if it can happen. I especially want to hear about what you were talking about earlier today, because I was stuck at a gender reveal party instead of hearing from a former employee of Lucasfilm, which I really want to sit back and listen to, but it's a pretty healthy discussion. It was like 2 hours or something. Casey Cheeto's in the building. What's up, Casey? Good to see you. Dave Hales is here. And that just reminded me of the name of the software. It's Suno. I remember it because he did 4 against 1,000 on Suno. Good to see you, brother. Drunk 3PO, a member for 20 months, says this is free. Almost. Kind of. Not quite. If you want to call it that. I mean, it's pretty close. Raging Rhino is here. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Star Wars Marvel Purist, my brother. Good to see you, man. Nick is here. Is that Nick from Echo Base? Is that who that is? It just says Nick, so I don't know. Okay, so I think that's everyone. I think we got all the people. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. There's 100 people in here already. We haven't even started talking about this thing yet. So please do the YouTube things. Hit the buttons. Do the stuff. It makes everything we do worthwhile here. All right. Let's get into this. Let's get started. Actually, hold on. We're going to poll. Chat. We're going to poll. Because I am really interested to hear what you guys have to say. We're going to poll about that last episode of Acolyte. And I'm interested to see what the community thinks. Let me see here. Okay, poll. Let's do a poll. I'm so bad at this. I'm so sorry. Did you like episode 5 of the Acolyte? We're just going to do a nice and simple one. Easy yes or no. You know what, dude? Hold on. Where is it? I'm going to think about it. That's actually not a terrible idea. We lost our co-host. I called him, texted him twice. I don't know what happened. I really hope he's okay. He was just fiddling with his mic. Maybe he fiddled with something else. Maybe he fiddled a little too much. Eldritch for 20 says, Prime salute. You should get that. Hope the little wing is doing well. She is doing great. Honestly, if I'm being totally honest, she had a great day today. Went out, saw a bunch of other kids, saw a horse pull a carrot out of a box for a gender reveal. It was a whole thing. Whole thing. But thank you for the $20 donation. We're going to jingle one more time. Okay, let's take an early look at where we're at. How many votes do we have in right now? We only have 38 votes in the poll, so I'm not going to call that a definite. But here's the thing. 38 votes in, we're at 87% no, 13% yes. Okay, so at least all you bigots hated it. Here's what I'm going to say about the last episode, okay? And I'm actually going to pull this up here so we can take a look at what was going on. Which one is it? It's this one. I'm going to share the tab audio. Let's pull this guy up. Okay. Episode 5 of The Acolyte was an attempt at what we should have seen from Lucasfilm after Mandalorian season 2. Okay? Now, if that doesn't make sense, what I'm saying is they attempted to do what we have been asking them to do. Oh, look who it is. We got a friend here, folks. You know him. You love him. Say his name.
Do they love me?
Of course.
It's a good thing that you're doing a Star Wars talk to redeem yourself from Elden Ring.
What? I beat the boss, dude. What do you want?
It was pretty rough.
Can we get a Jay playing Elden Ring stream?
Oh, no. I said that in the chat. As I tip my hat to you for playing because I could never do it. So
It's pretty rough, dude. It's a rough game for sure. But what about you, Jay? Episode 5 of The Acolyte. I'm sure you've watched it at this point. How'd you feel?
I've made 3 videos on it already.
Have you seriously?
Thanks, friend.
Hey, I pay for your channel. Okay.
I could, your
what else do you want from me?
The least you could do is consume mine.
I don't particularly like watching stuff on Star Wars anymore because I don't particularly like watching Star Wars anymore. I believe that.
Stuff is funny.
I believe that.
I keep it funny. Jay sounds like he just woke up. Not really, but
I think he's getting ready to go to sleep.
No.
So Acolyte episode 5. All right.
First impression, I thought it was weird. Like I didn't understand the cortosis. Like, so that was weird.
Yeah.
So I didn't like, oh, he's headbutting people. I thought the Padawan versus the Sith duel was my favorite part. I thought that was really good. But then I'm like, that's the Padawan, and she stood better. Like first she subdued May, which the Master Jedis couldn't do, and then then she held her own. So
I would say that there were a lot of like power leveling issues in that fight for sure. There were a lot of power leveling issues, and that's why I said, when I started, this is like an attempt at what they should be doing or should have done a long time ago. But the problem is this show just continually gets plagued with these inconsistencies, these plot contrivances, these weird things that it really doesn't take like a gnarly Star Wars fan to point them out. It's just bad writing in general. One of the biggest ones was the May switches sides and then switches sides again in this episode. Again.
And switches clothes.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. My issue is this. Disney Plus does them somewhat of a favor by cutting these things up into episodes, because it seems like a lot of people that like this show forget the episodes in the past. Now, remember, if they put this in a movie and we were watching this from start to finish, because it's literally, when it's all said and done, right, it's going to be like 2-hour film, roughly.
Yeah, I mean, if you figure out half an hour per episode, it's like a 4-hour movie.
Okay, so all right, a little bit longer, but it's like if we watched it in like a longer with like these cringy, horrible things and May flip-flopping back and forth, and we got to that scene of the lightsabers, would we already be like, this show sucks so bad? Like, it just seems like people forget about episode 3, you know, because I see a lot of like the messaging on social media. They're like, how can you say the show is terrible? Look at these lightsaber duels. And it's like, did you forget about episode 3 with the witches singing?
They were really hoping this was going to be like a silver bullet and everybody was going to hop on board. But the bottom line is we do remember. I do remember everything that's happened all the way up to this point. And beyond that, what's going on in this episode is still ridiculously problematic. And like, there are so many choices they could have made to make things better, or at least attempt to make things better. Another super egregious one is at the end. We see May cut her braids off because now she's going to be Osha. And it's like, we should have never seen that.
You know what the biggest problem, like one of the biggest problems with that episode is when she switches clothes with her sister. She injured her sister.
Yeah.
In the other set of clothes, not the clothes that she had on when she gets healed.
So Rhino pointed that out. I think here's my explanation. I could be totally wrong. That was probably just what Osha had on underneath all the other puffy jacket weird crap.
Okay.
Which is fair. Whatever. That's fine. You know, that one for me is not like a huge stick out.
But force healing is a Jedi trait, not a Sith.
Dude. That's one of those things like, okay, it has happened before. I want that to be gone. I want force heals to be out of the equation. Let's get rid of them. I feel the same way about like the witches in Star Wars. I totally understand that the witches of Dathomir are a long-standing thing. We've had them since the 90s. That doesn't mean that you use them like crazy. Left, right, upside down, and sideways. And then beyond that, start adding new, different witches that do different force magic. It's like, we're getting a little far away from the point here, I think.
And this is just my personal opinion. I liked how the Force was used in the George era. Like, so the original, we had like a mystery, you know? It's like Luke was like grunting like he was constipated just to move a lightsaber out of snow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, at that level, that's kind of neat, right? Because now it's like, and then you see a little bit like when we saw Force Lightning the first time in Return of the Jedi, we were like, oh,
yeah, what is
that's
that?
cool. All right, but he was the Emperor. So then in the prequels, we saw evidence of the Force, but it still wasn't like nobody was flying. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was you know, they were able to grab their lightsaber a little more smoother than Luke. And when they did the Jedis were getting wrecked, you know, on Order 66. So it wasn't like they had like this force bubble keeping them going, you know.
Yeah. They got wrecked on Geonosis too. Let's not forget, man. I mean, how many Jedi popped in there and they got wrecked.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It left a mystery of the Force that it's cool, but it wasn't like it didn't make you OP. You know,
you didn't do everything with the Force.
That
was the thing. Right. You know, so it was cool in the original trilogy because there was a mystery. There's this lost art that these knights had, you know, a long time ago, and Luke kind of feels it and figures it out. But then you go to the prequels and you're like, dude, this is the height of the Jedi. But still, they didn't do everything with the Force. They didn't walk up to a door every 5 minutes and swipe it open. Like it wasn't constantly in your face. And yeah, it left a little bit of mystery, which I think is fun. They're going a little heavy-handed with it. But chat summary thinks this is Jay's stream. This is what I get for being a nothing burger YouTuber.
I was being nice. I didn't say anything.
I love it. Good question though. Would you rather have force healing or mods? Do you remember the mods?
No.
From Book of Boba Fett, they were all the people that like added droid arms to themselves, and they fixed up. Yeah, they replaced her stomach and everything. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
I would take the mods.
Really?
Just because Luke had a fake hand, and
yeah, that's
Darth
fair.
Vader was pretty much modded up. So.
Okay, that's a fair point for sure. They were different in Book of Boba Fett, though. In the Book of
Boba
Fett,
much different, but you know, it was like Vader was pretty much. He's more machine now than man.
I feel like they make sense on like Coruscant. So like same thing with that little
Right.
biker gang. Like they make sense on Coruscant. You're on friggin' Tatooine, bro. Like you have to farm water.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I pulled this up because this is absolutely my favorite part of the entire series. Don't be surprised if the stream gets taken down, but this made me so happy. Uh-huh.
The Yord
Yeah.
Horde. Yeah.
And it was as if all at once 1,000 Yord hoarders cried out and were silent.
You want to know what's crazy is the official Star Wars Lucasfilm mailed out to all their favorite influencers Yord Horde stickers.
Oh, naturally.
And then the next week they mailed them all Yord Horde tissue boxes. And so all these special influencers are opening all their wonderful gifts from Star Wars. Isn't that nice?
Is it worth it? So that's my problem, and something I want to talk about tonight is like the fandom itself, how people are reacting. It is absolutely turned to, I think there's two ways you can look about it. One, people are white knighting for the show. They've convinced themselves that they really do like it, and I believe that they do 100%. I believe that they like the show. What's interesting is how they react to people who don't like it.
Yeah, to me that's always been the funny thing. It's we talk about the show, we hate it, we laugh at it, we do this. We never mention anybody else, but then they mention us because they're angry that we don't like the show that they like.
And I just don't understand.
So it's like, what? Like we're not even talking about you guys. Like, go like it. Go ahead.
We're ripping on the show, dude. That's the thing, is like we're making fun of and criticizing a content and a company.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, we're saying like F Disney, F Luke, Disney Lucasfilm. But then they're like, you piece of crap, idiot, moron. You don't know anything.
You want to know something funny? After, I think it was the Star Wars Theory is Gonna Sue Wikipedia video I did. Some of those people from the video, their first video that they deleted, reached out to me they reached out to me in my DMs.
No.
And it was very nice. So that's all I have to say.
Really? And so the plot thickens.
And it makes me wonder if they just didn't want to be like
absolutely
blasted in one of the videos or something. A video that's doing 100,000 views or like whatever. But
I'm sure the intention like might have been good there, but the dude who was behind it all is an absolute snake.
See that is the one glue that put all of us together. Yeah. Because apparently the guy that put it together, I've had my backs and forths with him years ago. Apparently he loved to talk bad about several of us in their little Discord. And so then they found out that he is actually a terrible person. Yeah. They were kind of like, well, I guess we can all agree on that. So I was like, and I just said, I appreciate you thank you for reaching out. Go enjoy. No hard feelings. Move along. That's it.
I think that's so funny that they messaged you though. Did you make a video on that? On this video though?
Of course.
How many times do I have to tell you I don't watch Star Wars content anymore? I don't. Also, I feel like it influences like what I say on
though, man. It's different. I support my friends. I watch my friends' stuff.
Don't watch my content.
You should just watch because I'm your friend.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do better, Jay. I'm gonna do better.
That's all right. So yes, I did do a video on this, and yes, it's at 350,000 views on my channel right now.
Oh my god!
And then I did a follow-up video that's getting close to 100,000 views, where I break down every person that was in this video and how how there's a catfish involved.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about that.
How Pete is a turd. How they're all fighting. How they got chewed up because they weren't doing enough.
I'm so bummed we didn't get Peter Soretta in here.
It is crazy.
Icing on the cake. Angmar for $4.99 says John Trent dropped a vid in regards to a Manny Jacinto interview where he says episode 6 being a reboot Looks like he confirmed a flashback episode.
Great, another
being a
flashback.
reboot. How does that make sense, though? A reboot.
Another flashback.
I don't know. Thank you for the super chat, and Risk It for the Biscuit gifted 10
The brother.
X-Wing memberships. You know what that means?
It means
Do the
he's
jingle.
got our. Riskit's got our tattoo.
Dude, did I send you a message today? If KC's in the chat, KC said,
Yes.
"Hey, can
Yeah.
you send me a picture?" I'm
You
gonna
can
need
go to the
that.
website. She can go to the website. It's right there.
Risk It for the Biscuit. Thank you so much for the memberships. If anybody got a gifted membership, throw some X-Wings in there. We love to see it. We love to see the Hanger Gang after it. It is not X-Force. It does not matter what Beardo says. All right. I want to watch this together real quick. To anybody who hasn't seen it, this got taken down rapidly after it got put up.
Yeah, it's the
It
funniest
matters
part.
what side you choose, even if there will never be more light than darkness, even if there will be no more joy in the galaxy.
For everyone.
For everyone.
For everyone.
For everyone.
For everyone. Star Wars is for everyone.
Chaco.
Regardless of race.
Regardless of religion.
Regardless of gender.
Or identity.
Not every show, movie, comic book, collectible, or video game will be your favorite.
And that's okay.
Social media should be a place where we can share our love for the franchise.
Without being attacked for what we enjoy.
There is no room for bigotry,
misogyny, or racism in the galaxy far, far away.
That's why when you feel alone in your fandom,
when someone attacks you for being who you are,
remember, there are more of us.
There are more of us.
There are more of us.
Do we have to play the whole thing?
More of us.
there are more.
No, we
I
can
mean,
stop
that's all
there.
they say.
We can stop there. But wow, I was ecstatic when that came out. I thought it was beautiful. It was
But you're not doing you're not. See, this is why you should watch my video.
no, that's what I want to. I want to talk
Right.
about exactly what went down there.
All right, so this is just to be clear. Episode 4 of the Acolyte hit. Okay, Keanu Monday was in the show.
Keanu
All
Monday
right?
for all you Star Wars fans.
I'm gonna say it my way. Keanu Monday was in the show. What are you doing?
Bringing the people up. Keep going.
No, man, you're not paying attention. You're gonna miss this. This is
I'm
so
not
important.
I'm gonna miss it. I'm not gonna miss it.
Ah, my buddy. So Keanu Monday was in there, and of course, the biggest Star Wars YouTuber was live, and he was like, "That guy shouldn't be in the show. He's not. He's not even born yet." Blah, you know, every key demographic that most people would point out.
Right.
Then Wikipedia started changing his stats during his live stream because everybody was like, check it. His chat was going crazy, like, check it. And then after that, he was like, oh my God, they changed it right after the show. Like, I can't believe they did that. Basically, all it says, and then the cartoon lady in that video, Ash Randar,
yeah,
started the whole thing by tagging Star Wars Theory, saying you're sending your people to commit violence against Wikipedia, and her tweet went nuclear. And then Star Wars Theory's response basically said "F off," and then some of everybody in that video did some kind of quote tweet to Theory, like, how dare you use your platform, and saying, you know, you need to speak up. Pete Fletzer was like, your silence is causing violence, basically. And that's you
have to come out and tell us that you don't
you have
this.
To be specific. So so all that happened. Theory then says, okay, you're gonna accuse me of inciting violence, I'm gonna get lawyers involved.
Yeah.
Thank God that I just happened to be up when all that was going down, because I got all those tweets that all these people started deleting in record pace after that.
Yeah.
So then Pete had an idea, the guy from Around the Galaxy podcast. He's like, you know what, guys, let's come together and let's just show some peace. So they made that video the next day.
That came out quick.
Yeah, because so all this was all about it, this was all a push against Star Wars theory. That's all it was. Or all of us that didn't like the show, but he's, number one, so it is what it is. And like, so they made that video, and immediately upon release, that SJW crowd attacked them. These are all people in the same circle. They started attacking them for not having a black woman in there, not having a trans person in there, they're attacking everyone that's in that video. Boom, boom, boom. How dare you not have a black woman? How dare you not have a trans person? How dare you not have...
How can you make a video saying it's for everyone and not show all of us? It was a microcosm of the bigger picture, right?
It was crazy to see them
Yeah.
eat their own. Massive. And I'm just like laughing. I am laughing my head off, and I'm like screenshotting tweets because I know they're going to be coming and going, and their tweets are going to get protected because all this.
Yeah.
They were coming after like that Ash Rendar so hard. She reached out to a friend and DM'd him and was like, everyone's coming after me. I'm going to go away. And I just want you to know that I'm not who I say I am. And for 2 years, we've been talking, and he's like, he put the DMs out there. First of all, I think that was a little harsh.
Why did he do that? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he embarrassed himself because he's like, I thought she was a friend of mine for 2 years. This dude thought he was talking to a hot blonde chick. Let's be honest.
A dude?
The guy who put the tweet, the guy whose DM, I don't know who it is. The
Ash
cartoon,
Rendar I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Who she was talking to in the DMs was a guy. He probably thought he was talking to a hot blonde chick that was in that video. He thought that was just like what she looked like. And he got upset and took all the screenshots from the DMs like, I just want to report something to anybody else in the community that this person's not who they say. Then all
Dude, he poured so much gasoline on that fire right there.
All heck breaks loose. All these people are like, oh my God, there's like private message between me and her. And like, oh my God, like we got catfished. And it's like, she was in my Discord for 2 years. And who is this person? Is it a guy? Is it a girl? She nukes everything. Thank God I say, I'm watching this in real time, dude. I got popcorn. I got ice cream. And I'm just like watching the thing. Just like, I'm watching it all. I'm like clicking it all. Because I'm like, I know how these people work. They say something, it gets a little attention, and they delete or private or whatever real quick.
Yeah.
So then,
or they think they virtue signaled, and that's my favorite one, when they think they virtue signal, and then their same crowd comes after them, and they're like, "It's not virtuous enough," and they just start ripping them apart.
So after that, so now this account has been outed as a catfish to all the people in that video. All that little community, they all thought that this person was something special.
Is that account still live?
No, she nuked. That account is nuked. It is off. Like they had she had an Instagram. I'm saying she because it was a she avatar. They had an Instagram account. They had a YouTube account. It's all gone. Got rid of it all.
And they were taking the moral high ground. Can you believe that?
So then, like, then on top of all that, so all right, someone said, someone posted something, and I got all this from My Nerdy Home. Like she collected these. I was telling her like, start collecting this stuff now. Someone goes, I've got to get this off my chest.
I saw that tweet. Yeah.
I refuse to share the video Star Wars is for everyone, and here's why. I'm not going to name names, but the guy that put it together. The guy who put it together harassed co-host of mine, and because I wasn't going on his charity stream, and then he unfollowed me. Then he made alt accounts to harass me in my live streams and on social media, and you're just like, what the freak is happening, man?
It imploded so quickly, and that's the
outs
craziest
that guy.
part, dude. Yeah.
The other people that were in the video are all like, I can't believe that happened. I'm so sorry, and like, so they all started deleting it. Like, all right, we're not a part of him. We don't want to be a part of him anymore. He comes out. Pete was like, I'm the one that put the video together, and I am sorry about not having representation. And dude, it was so pathetic. It was so freaking pathetic. In my video, I'm sitting here like, one of the girls in the video she was like, I'm so sorry I caused all this. What am I supposed to do? Right. And I was like, if you end up watching this, this is what you need to do. You need to distance yourself from people that try to control you with their stupidity. If you want to make a video that Star Wars is for everyone and you don't want to include certain people, don't include them. Who gives a crap? It's your video. Do whatever you want. Don't let these people control you. Don't let these people tell you what to do. Don't let these people say that you got to get on this level or give me this or give me that. Like, stop living in their guilt. It's crazy, man, how they just let them get all guilty because what Kyle Katarn did the same thing. He's like, I apologize. I need to do more to help this fandom. Tell me what I can do. And they're like, you need to invite a trans woman on your channel. And he's like, okay, I'll look into it. It's like, no, your channel, do whatever you want. Don't cater to these people. Don't bend over for these people.
They create a guilt circle. You're not virtuing hard enough. I thought you were on our team. You need to be a part of this. Yeah, it's like, dude, I felt the pressure for that. Believe it or not, like when I first started out in Star Wars, to not criticize things. It was a common kind of feeling I had until finally I just let it go. I was like, whatever, dude, I'm going to be honest. Like, this is YouTube. It's not worth it to try to maintain a friendship based on a lie, dude. That's the bottom line. And I think a lot of these people are not being honest when they're talking about what's going on in these shows. I mean, legitimate. I'm not saying that they're sitting there and they're lying with every single thing they say. They probably do enjoy it, but like, bro, be critical too. I don't have any problem saying the first time I watched the stuff in episode 5 with the fights, I enjoyed it. I'm like, yeah, dude, Yord gets his neck snapped. We have a Sith who's finally, actually killing people and being evil. Like, great.
Lightsabers are back working again.
Yeah, lightsabers are working again. Apparently they kill people. So all great things. But then along with that, there's a host of just absolute, ridiculous issues with the show. Be able to do both and don't be beholden to someone because of fucking virtue signaling of all things. Really?
I said that at the end of the video that got 300,000 views, by the way. Did I mention that?
You are just so I
sat there and my friend didn't watch it. That hurt. And I literally said, I forgot my point because I was trying to rub it in that I did so well.
See, this is what happens. You got to stay focused.
No, I literally said, I hope everyone that was involved in all this learned something about the people that you're hanging out with.
You're such a teacher.
That they do not care about you, that they want to control you. And if you enjoy the Acolyte, if you truly enjoy it, go enjoy it. Like, just go enjoy it. I said, don't like it because you're afraid that someone's going to attack you because you don't like it. Because I'm telling you, that's half the people over there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Like, they don't want people to show, oh, you're one of them now. You're one of those Yahtzees and you're this and you're that. So I'm sure there's some of them that are faking it just because they don't want to deal with the attention.
Yeah.
Like the negative
what happened
attention.
with Ash Rendar, dude. Yeah, it's insane. And same thing to that point. Anybody in my chat, dude, if you enjoyed it, like, don't be afraid of it. You're never gonna catch me like specifically finding somebody on Twitter and targeting them, being like,
"Yeah,
you're an idiot." No, I'm gonna make fun of the show.
Listen, I love Avatar, and people give me crap for it all the time.
Oh, me too,
and
dude.
So please give me all the crap you want for liking Avatar. I'm okay with it.
I love it when people rip on it. Because you know what? If anything, it kind of makes me feel like yeah, I love it, man. I love it. It's like, it makes me feel like I'm part of a small group of people who really actually enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
But I ain't faking the funk. I really do like that shit.
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%.
And the next movie comes out, me and X-Wing are gonna be sitting right next to each other, painting our face blue with the Avatar popcorn bucket, just going, "Oh, here we go."
And that's on the one. I don't care. Matt Tweed for 10 says, one of the people from that Star Wars is for Everyone video, name rhymes with teat, said that episode 5 was the red wedding of Star Wars and that Yord was essentially Robb Stark. Yikes. Yeah, to compare something like Game of Thrones to the Acolyte is wild.
Yeah, don't do that.
That is absolutely wild. And I disagree personally, hardcore. Darth Racer 777 for 20 says, guys, I used to be a gatekeeper for anything Star Wars. Even when I had misgivings about the sequel trilogy, I felt it was my duty to defend them. Now, after much research and using logic, I don't do that anymore. I call balls and strikes, as it should be. And good on you for doing that and having the self-awareness to take a step back and go, wait a minute. Maybe not everything is just one giant YouTube hate grift, and these people actually love the franchise and they want it to be better. That's what we want. I see so much on Twitter. So you're embracing the grift. That's fine.
It's hilarious.
I still hold on.
I embrace the entertainment that I'm receiving from the going back to now. Is this the most violent Disney Plus episode I think we've gotten in all Star Wars? Probably.
The only thing I think that got close to it was the Mando episode where he cut the guy's head off and carried it in a bag.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I'll give them credit. I'll give them credit because already that side of the fandom was having like fan favorites and they just wiped them out.
Yeah.
So and I didn't think they were gonna kill a woman. They killed him. So like they killed the kid, the Padawan, with the 3 boop 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 with the 3 jabs.
That was so unnecessary.
I'm sitting there like, what the freak? They actually did it? Holy crap!
Yeah.
Now the crazy thing is too, you X-Wing, you and several others were like, in order for the show to possibly work with the prequels, everybody has to die.
Yeah.
So
literally everyone. There's no way to get around it. And I mean, there's all kinds of legends and I can't call it legends. There's all kinds of expanded universe stuff that contradicts a lot of this. But again, just to the point that they were willing to put some stakes in the show. For once in a Star Wars show, there were some stakes. Like, people are going to die. This dude's evil. People will die. I feel like that's the first time we've seen that from Disney since God knows when.
Well, yeah, because people were getting stabbed with lightsabers and just rubbing dirt on it and just keep going.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, the Sabine, this is why I say Dave Filoni has already and will continue to destroy Star Wars, is because of crap like that.
Well, this is, I hate to break this to you. I just released my Rey movie video. It's not doing as well because it's not really a hot topic, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But this is all a setup for the Rey film. All of it. It is, and Forbes just did an article about how Star Wars is making the Jedi look terrible and they need to stop. Forbes did that.
Really? Dude, Forbes has been kind of base lately.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
The whole thing is to make the Jedi look stupid. Right? Now they've introduced that people with special force powers can create force children. Rey is going to lead the new beginning. Apparently, that's the title of the film that was leaked by accident. So she will now have this all could be all connected, where it's like Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni, and this is speculation, but it's just the dominoes are falling perfectly. They will build their new Jedi Order and create the Jedi the way that Disney always wanted the Jedi to be, and then they can move forward. Like, so because the director's already said, like, you guys know Rey is going to be the heart of Star Wars, right? Like, she said that in an interview.
Yeah, she's supposed to be the new Luke.
And then there is no Jedi, so she's supposed to build a brand new Jedi temple and do all that stuff together. So now it's like, that would make sense. So now she could go find the witches and maybe, hey, can you pop out some Force babies? We're gonna start a new order.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go, okay, but if you do that, make sure, when you use the thread, make sure that you do it this way and not that way. That way you can do this and have more force power. Like, oh, okay, sure. Perfect.
They have to be twins. You have to have one light and one dark so the force doesn't react to it. Get the fudge out of here, bro. God,
and the Skywalker saga will just be a side mission on a video game. That's
dude. Check it out. The Palpatines won. The Skywalkers lost, and the Palpatines won. And the Palpatines took their name and will now rule the galaxy.
That's pretty.
Think about it.
I love it. It's pretty funny.
Think about it. Darth Racer 777
It's
for
pretty
10.
funny, man.
Now, my Star Wars is the OT, PT, and a great series of books in the EU. I will always have. I think that's where a lot of fans are at this point. I know, certainly for me, my brother's a huge Lord of the Rings fan, massive Lord of the Rings fan. And at this point, he's just kind of sunk into his shell, and it's like it's me and Tolkien, and that's it. I don't care what Amazon original characters they create, I don't care how many Prime episodes they throw at me. Like, they can't destroy what we had. And in a lot of regards, I kind of feel the same way. It's a little disjointed because the EU obviously didn't all come from George, but I mean, at least he had a hand in it and saying, this stuff makes sense. But I mean, Disney is just a departure from that completely. Jay,
it would make sense if they had a meeting and they were like, so in order for us to really officially own Star Wars or Lucasfilm, we have to get rid of what was before. Let the past die, kill it if you have to. So it's not surprising that we saw the death of Han Solo with no reaction. Death of Luke Skywalker, whatever. Leia dies, whatever. And they move forward. Like, that Rey would end up being in episode 10. That's just wild to me that we're seeing that. And then all these little side shows. Like, to me, I think Jon Favreau did The Mandalorian. And I remember I was watching because Geeks and Gamers, before I was a part of Geeks and Gamers, they were at that Star Wars convention, the Star Wars, whatever it was, the Star Wars convention when they announced them. Yeah, Celebration, when they announced Mandalorian. And it was they promoted that thing as like, hey, it's just gonna be like a TV show. It's gonna be like a Western, kind of cool. Yeah. Like, you'll see some familiar characters here and there. It's gonna be kind of cool, right? That's all they thought it was gonna be. And the fact that it blew up, I think, surprised them. Only because, like, I don't think they were ready for like the Baby Yoda craze.
Yeah.
So like I think that shocked them, and then it became so popular. Let me ask you something. You can tell me I'm wrong. When you after season 2, did it not look like that's the perfect end for Mandalorian? Like, they could have just done the 2 seasons and just been like, maybe pick it up later where he's just doing something else.
So the fact that we got a Mandalorian season 3, I think shows massive incompetence by the entire department. Because if you wanted to bring them back, if you wanted to bring Mando back, if you wanted to do anything, it had to have been in some kind of major movie, right? Yeah, that's when you bring him back. And then we get Mandalorian season 3, which is it's a travesty. I mean, even I put out like a shitpost video on it because it was like, dude, what are we doing here, kids? Lizzo's here with Jack Black. The ending of the season has a Looney Tunes shrink at the end of it. It's like, ba-dee, that's all, folks. And now they're on a ranch together and they're happy. They took any weight from it and completely destroyed it. And so now, what do you think's going to happen if they try to make a Mando movie? What do you think?
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, I think Favreau had 2 seasons, and he's like, yeah, that'll be cool. And if we want to bring him back, like, to guest appear in the Ahsoka series or whatever, fine, right? Yeah. Like, that's what I think they planned, because I think they were looking at it as like a TV show. Like, this is a TV show. We got bigger things to worry about, just like a TV show. So. And then it blew up, and because the Book of Boba Fett was literally created to get Baby Yoda back with Mando. There was no point to that show whatsoever.
Dude, I think, if I'm being completely honest, I think the Book of Boba Fett went completely differently, and they changed a lot because of Gina Carano.
Nah, they made that show. Gina was going to do her own show.
I know they had Rangers.
Yeah, she was going to be in Rangers of the New Republic. I didn't think Boba Fett was going to be. There's some things I can't really say, but
I know,
there's some things like the Boba Fett show was so rushed and put together. The 2 episodes that everybody talked about was the one with Mando, and Boba Fett wasn't even in it.
Yep.
And that whole thing was just to get Baby Yoda away from Luke and back to Mando, which is so stupid.
That's right. That was not a Mando episode. That was Book of Boba Fett. When
That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
And they had Luke, and they spiced it up with Luke talking to Ahsoka.
Which they botched, by the way.
Which was horrible. Like they were hoping
about Anakin and like what? A family
they were
friend.
hoping that they would get the crying scene. Oh, Snips is with the son, and
yeah,
like, you're watching it like this is dumb.
Yeah, they're kind of standoffish and stuff. Like, what are we doing here, bro?
Yeah,
that's your master's kid. That's Anakin's kid.
Yeah, it was. And then you go to like then you go to Baby Yoda and you're like, all right, you got to choose.
Do you want chainmail or a lightsaber? Like, what is their obsession with chainmail? Like, that had to be a Dave Filoni original.
It's so dumb. And then then Luke was like angry at him and just kicked him in the X-wing. He's like, get the freak out. Like, I'm not even gonna drive you myself.
How did he Uber Eats Grogu to frickin' Tatooine, bro? Like, you're not even gonna show up. You're just like, yeah, get out. Here's my ship. We'll see ya.
See, here's the thing. There was decisions made quickly. I know it. And that's why that show looked terrible. Like, just terribly rushed. Because they had promo stuff that people could buy of Luke with Baby Yoda, and Baby Yoda's like levitate. Did you see this stuff?
Yeah. He had posters. Like the saber. The saber was all deconstructed.
Yes, that's right. They had that. They had stuff that you could buy at the parks with Luke and Baby Yoda, like, and he's holding a lightsaber, and it's like it just looked like they had these toys ready because they were gonna do something with them.
Yep.
They were gonna do something with it, and then they were like, let's just get him back. And so Pedro Pascal had absolutely nothing to do with Book of Boba Fett. I think he just voiced a couple. He voiced it from home or wherever he was.
I don't know that
I think he was doing Wonder Woman at the time, maybe. Yeah,
if I'm being honest. But 2 Star Wars nerds, by the way, if you haven't, get over there and subscribe to 2 Star Wars nerds.
Oh yeah, they're good people.
Book of Boba Fett revealed there is no message. It's a cash cow trying to appeal to everyone and no one at the exact same time. 100%. That's just so. I think that's the message that we're trying to convey when we make these videos, when we make fun of it, when we talk about it, is that the art is gone, the feeling is gone, the emotion's gone, everything is gone from this, and so we have to call it out. And like, hey, you need to do better. Who said that, Falcon? You need to do better.
Yeah,
legitimately.
Yeah, he said that to the politician.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we started to see some of this silliness like in the in the Solo movie, you know, and it's like even at the end with Darth Maul, it's like, what? Why did he grab his lightsaber and stand up and like?
Or what was the point of having?
You literally just made a hologram call. That's all you were doing. There was no like, let me show you what I can do. Hey, look what I can do. Look what I can do. I'm standing up. Look.
That was one of the beginnings. I knew there was going to be a problem with like the villains in Star Wars.
But see, that's the thing. These people that are putting this stuff together, they're looking for a quick shock of people going ooh, and then not looking at it logically, and being like, that's dumb. Why would he do that? They just want it to be like, did you see Darth Maul at the end? Yeah. Did you see the rest of the film? Boo. Oh yeah.
So you're telling me the Imperial March was playing at an Imperial recruiting center, and Han Solo's name came from him showing up alone? Oh, and by the way, Lando's a droid banger.
So let me ask you this question.
That L3 or whatever that droid was is now an integral part of the Millennium Falcon for the entire original trilogy.
She's also an Indiana Jones.
Dude.
Same lady.
Is that her?
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't know. She voiced L3 and she was in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they have a nickname for her. I don't remember what the nickname is, but
Let me ask you this question. Because this is the fun Discord that I've been having with people offline. If Solo did very well, and it rode the wave, and everybody went and saw it, and it didn't lose money. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, that's her name. Yeah.
Phoebe Waller,
If Solo did really well, would we see? Would that actor? Would he have just been given that role, and would we have seen him in some of Disney Plus, in the parks, at the meet and greets, walking around Galaxy's Edge, like like all that stuff? Would that be the guy? But because it did terribly, they kind of were like, yeah, that didn't work out the way we wanted. If it had done really well, would he have been the new Han Solo? And they probably would have done a sequel, I'm assuming, right? Because the movie ended on a
100%.
The movie just ended, right?
We would have gotten Crimson Dawn with Rey as Maul and everything like that, 100%. And the crazy part is too, like, Alden Ehrenreich is so innocent in all this. He acted the crap out of that. I really think he did the best he could, and I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, I never blame the actors.
Yeah, I think he did a good job.
Except for Fleabag. That's what the nickname was, Fleabag.
Yeah, Fleabag. But what's crazy is you say don't blame the actors, but KK came out and was crapping on Alden Ehrenreich for his performance. She's like, yeah, that's the reason maybe we made some mistakes in casting. Like, you blaming him?
Listen, not to get all spiritual. The first sin in the Bible was pass the blame, right? Adam, why'd you eat that apple? I ain't do it. She made me. Pass the blame.
Yeah.
Woman, why'd you eat that apple? I didn't do it. That snake told me to do it. Pass the blame. These people just pass the blame, dude.
Yeah.
They pass it and pass it and pass it. The Acolyte isn't bad. You're the problem, right? It's like they just constantly just watch how they do stuff in that Disney. It is it's never my fault. It's somebody else's fault. Pass the blame. The original.
We're doing the right thing. It's the fan base that's the problem. And you know what's funny too?
Like,
what's crazy about the release of the Acolyte is that I think finally now, after 7 projects, the general public is starting to wake up to it. It seems like the general public is finally going, wait a minute. You've said that about the last 7 projects that have come out, and still nothing's changed. You know what? I'm thinking maybe you guys are the problem. Which is lovely to see.
We saw that with the Last Jedi. Like, I saw that first time with Last Jedi. Listen, listen, everybody knows my bad take is I like the prequels better than the original. I prefer episode 2 over Empire Strikes Back.
I hold them in equal regard.
It's a bad take for most people. They trash me for my ranking. It's okay. The prequels have a lot to, like, me and X-Wing could do a month worth on how cringy and how weird the prequels are. Like some of the 100%. Bad dialogue, all that stuff. It doesn't kill Star Wars for me because the base of it is still there, you know? So, and it's like, There wasn't any of this fighting where it was like, oh, you don't like the prequels? You like it, it's your fault. You're the problem. None of that stuff happened. Here, in The Last Jedi, it's like, I don't think that's Luke Skywalker. But we got another racist on our hands.
Yeah.
Huh?
If anyone got it, I think, I think it's so funny when we hear about fan discourse about the prequels. Everyone says, like, it wasn't the fans that, were after George Lucas or after Ahmad Best or anything like that. But there were people out there that made, like, George Lucas, you ruined my childhood and stuff like that. You remember that? There was a huge documentary, George Lucas, you stole my childhood or something like that. But again, it's pointed back at the creative, not the fans.
So, Ahmad Best and Jake Lloyd, if you go back and read the headlines when they talked about their, they were having...
It was all critics, dude.
They were talking about the media.
Yeah.
Not the fans. They were like, the media was driving us crazy. Like, media.
People hated Jar Jar Binks, but they didn't go, I hate Ahmad Best. They just hated Jar Jar Binks.
I mean, I saw Jake Lloyd one time. Me and my brother Capable gentleman. Shout out. And I know he's got this video somewhere. I know he has it. In Orlando, they used to do this before Disney bought Star Wars. They had a thing called Star Wars Weekend. It was like in March, whatever, and it was like 2 weeks on the weekend. That's where I met Mark Hamill. Like they brought in all the actors for like it was like a con at Hollywood Studios, and you could sit and listen to them talk and all that. And Jake Lloyd was there. He was talking and all that stuff, and my brother was recording. He had like a whatever he was recording on. He was talking about how terrible the media was, and everybody.
Yeah.
Jake Lloyd would come out to thunderous applause. You know,
Really? That makes me so happy.
man, big time. Like, and then like Mark Hamill would sit next to him and all, and they would all talk, and you're just like, this is really cool. So then he'd be in the parade, and everybody'd be like, "Yeah, it's pod racing, yeah," and he just would wave and whatever, and then he would always like talk about the media. It was crazy. So
wait, hold on. Can we address something really quick? Because what is the Fandom menace?
Hate to break it to you, young man. The people versus George Lucas are the Fandom menace. I never saw that. What's the people versus George Lucas?
It was that what I was telling you about. They made like a whole documentary about how George Lucas destroyed their childhood because he made the prequels after the original trilogy. I've never watched the movie itself. That'd be really fun to make content on, especially compared to like today's stuff. But I don't know what the Fandom menace is. I hear about it all the time, but is it just like a weird thing?
Are you
like where you can
serious?
call somebody like an istophobe? Or is there like a set group of people who are the Fandom menace?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I'm interested.
So, during the Last Jedi, this was the Acolyte Wars ain't nothing compared to
No, the
Last
Fandom
Jedi.
menace has been around for long before the Last Jedi.
No.
Yeah, Fandom menace has been around since '99.
No.
Am I
it
totally
wasn't.
wrong? Okay.
Yes. And somebody has it correct. 16-bit mascot. Fandom Menace was a pseudonym for this community coined by Ethan Van Sciver when he was doing the High Council with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Really? That's a G&G thing, the Fandom menace?
Yeah. And people at a time thought Jeremy was the leader of the Fandom Menace, but he was like, no. And then we were all like together, like fighting, like, because dude, the Last Jedi YouTube days were
oh my god, I didn't
crazy, dude, crazy. Every media outlet, everyone. That's the first time I ever got called a phobe and stuff for not liking a Star Wars film. And then it like after the Rise of Skywalker, everybody was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here. Like Jeremy's like, you know what? This was fun. I'm gonna work. We're Geeks and Gamers now. And then this guy's like, all right, yeah, we're gonna work over there now. Yeah, we're gonna work over there now. So everybody
literally nobody is dude. The People versus George Lucas is a 2010 documentary comedy film directed by Swiss director Alexandra Phillip.
Yeah, I don't know why the Phantom Menace would be.
Interviewees include a variety of Neil Gaiman, Ian Freer, Mick Fratellan, and Gary Kurtz, which is not even Star Wars. Okay, well.
Yeah, we all had shirts. We all put the Phantom Menace in our bios, and
really,
it was a fun time. Like, and we were all just like, we were waiting for the next article to drop. We were waiting for like Ryan Johnson to put his middle finger at somebody. It was like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That
was a war. We've had many conversations about that too. That was an absolute war. I don't think Acolyte's anywhere near as gnarly as that was, dude.
No,
anywhere
that
near
was for me. All right, so I'm not saying it's the culture war though, but for me, that was my eye-opening moment of there are now activists running this. Like, wait, this isn't. You know, this is wrong. Like something's wrong here. They're pushing, you know, weird stuff in our You know what I mean? It's
Well, they
like
turn the
want
fan
everyone to
base
be
against each
gay and all
other.
that stuff. It's like, wait,
They
what?
turn the fan base against each other by making it a political battle, not a lore
Yeah.
battle. That was just what it boiled down to, and you can still see them stoking those flames to this day. Then it would have been, I guess at that point, same thing. It would have been like, you don't like Finn because he's a black stormtrooper, or you don't like Rey because she's a woman Jedi.
Now it's the media has turned on Disney and Lucasfilm, and it's just it's funny to me when these Twitter accounts and stuff, they're like, oh, don't watch him, he's part of the fandom menace, and I'm like, dang, we haven't used that term.
I got
it's like
called part of the
2020,
fandom menace.
dude. Like it was like
is.
2019 to 2021. It was over.
Well, I looked it up. Believe it or not, I looked it up on Facebook. I was like, "Is the Fandom Menace really?" And there was a page called the Fandom Menace, but like you said, it really hasn't been active for a long time. I mean, there's people still on there posting stuff, but
after the rise of Skywalker, everybody just kind of was like, "I gotta focus on my stuff. I gotta focus on that." Yeah, they're like, "Okay." Everybody kind of like Jeremy's like, "You know what? I'm G&G now. I'm not Phantom Menace. I gotta focus on G&G and build this up." And that's how we all kind of did our thing.
Wow, that is eye-opening. I had no idea. I always figured the Fandom Menace was like the group of kids that were probably like Coach and Nick, right? They were probably actually that's not right for their age, but people who were like 13, 14 years old when Star Wars came out. And then when the prequels came out, they're like, oh, screw George Lucas. They ruined my childhood. And it turns out the whole time it was Geeks and Gamers. Wow.
I was part of it. I had the shirt.
Wow. You're a Fandom Menacer, huh?
X.
That is just mind-blowing. So at that point, you know what? I don't want to dig in. I don't want to dig into that. Actually, you go ahead and sidetrack us. Take us somewhere else.
That's about it.
I don't want to talk about EVS because now there's this whole other thing which I have no part of at all.
Oh yeah, no, we don't they basically EVS. Jeremy from this is before I even had a YouTube channel. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and Jeff from World Class. They did a Tuesday night show that was the show. Everybody anywhere was listened to that show. Tuesday night, that was it. And it was one of the largest shows that brought everyone together. And they went over the Star Wars, the High Council, that's right. Culture Casino's right. Everybody watched that show. And then it just got to the point where everybody's just like, I'm going to work on my own thing. So that's all.
They were just over it or what?
Yeah, it went on for like 2 years, and then it was just like EVS had to work on Cyberfrog. Jeremy wanted to work on Geeks and Gamers and build that brand. And I don't know the ins and outs. Like I said, I wasn't a part of Geeks and Gamers at that time. So, but everybody there is successful in their own right. I've got no hate for anybody in there, or everybody just doing their own thing. It's all
life
good.
Just life, and that's how it goes.
Yeah,
Ministry of Wrong Thing.
Listen, the cool thing is people found friendships through that. They found friendships and cool stuff, and for that, and
went off and made their own thing.
They just did their own thing.
There you go.
Drunk 3PO was born.
There you go. Ministry of Wrong Thing for $9.99 says, remember in Kenobi when the stormtroopers announced they're looking for a Jedi when he was sitting right next to them, proving they literally weren't even given a description for what he looked like. Look, don't get me started on Kenobi. All right. I was forced with hands tied to sit and watch that with Drunk 3PO. And that was my last Jedi. It destroyed Obi-Wan Kenobi for me, which to be fair, kind of destroys the OT too, because Kenobi was made out to be an absolute slub of a human and an absolutely terrible Jedi. It was horrid on every account, left, right, upside down, and sideways. I hated Kenobi more than I've ever hated any Star Wars that's ever been created ever. a fake Sith got shot at by a T-47 and like bounced him. But oh my god, I can't.
You guys got him started,
dude. I can't do that show. And the worst part is, not the worst part. One of the worst parts
anymore
is that they took what was at the time one of the better stories that we had in Star Wars, which was Jedi Fallen Order, and effing destroyed it and replaced who would have been a really cool character with Reva. And Reva was atrocious, bro. You get stabbed twice by Anakin Skywalker and survive. Get out of my...
I don't. It's funny to me.
I just like, I don't need, that's
it
the
doesn't
one
bother,
that,
like I don't let that stuff get me upset anymore. It's
Solo and Kenobi are,
it's giving me a
Kenobi
great
are horrible
book to work on.
Yeah, by the way, if anybody doesn't know, might as well throw that grift in there a little bit while we're at it. So all of this stuff that we're talking about, you know, we're upset about the way that Star Wars is gone. We're upset about the stuff that we're seeing. And everyone says, you know what? Fine. Why don't you just make your own stuff? And we said, yeah, why don't we? And so we created a story called The Daughter's Revenge. And by the way, did you mean to leak the name today? You did mean to. So we're clear.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Open fire!
Woo, that gets me excited in all my naughty bits.
You got to make a new one.
I know, it's time to make a new one. I have to change it. The year isn't right. That was
It's
just
all
something
good.
we threw together a long time ago. But the honest truth is, yeah, we were really tired of it. We're tired of all the stuff we were seeing. And so Jay gets out of what's the name
Indy
of that?
5.
Indy 5, the Dial of Destiny. Yeah. And he calls me and he goes, okay, we got to do we need to make something. And so we bonded over this this game called Sea of Thieves. Just because it was like, you know, you're a pirate running around shooting cannons, having a lot of fun, whatever. And then it just kind of blossomed into this idea for an incredible story of a man who is, you know, tasked by king and country to hunt down pirates, take them out, and then comes across this huge problem in his life that we don't know about yet. And is he willing to, in his faith and his duty, become the one thing he swore to destroy? And Jonathan Reed, which now I can say it, I feel like there's just this weight off my shoulders. The story of Jonathan Reed will be coming to you early next year. And I have been hard at work in the forge, you know, forging his blades with my father-in-law. His cutlasses will be available to buy if anybody wants it. And then, you know, as this thing rolls out, we'll have more and more opportunities. My older brother is actually hand making pieces of 8 that will coincide with a portion of the story. There's something in there. Don't worry. That'll be important later. The whole thing has just been an absolute joy to work on. And I am so psyched out of my brain to be able to sit down and do lore videos and talk about this stuff and do the things that nerds are supposed to do on YouTube and have fun and talk about the story.
Also, someone said, how can you support our very own 9-Line Apparel is going to put an early shirt out. That's that part of the money, the proceeds of the money is going to go help veterans for their 9-Line Apparel foundation. It's going to have the symbol that you saw across the chest, and we're going to hopefully have those out by October. So you can go on the website and pick those up. It'll be an exclusive. They're not going to sell them long, but it's gonna be pretty cool. Everybody's like trying to figure out how to spell the last name.
That's a double whammy for me too. That's so awesome that like the shirt sales are gonna go to a good cause.
That'll be the early and when we sell shirts with the campaign, they're not going to be 9-line. So this is going to be a special exclusive just with them early before the book's release. So, and we know that there's people already out there getting tattoos.
Yes, what how many are we at now? Like 5 or 6 people that already have the Jolly Roger tattooed, which is incredible.
Look at everybody trying to spell Jonathan Reed in the chat.
I know, this is making me so happy, bro. This is so cool.
I don't think we'll release that yet, but
yeah, maybe
you'll probably
spell
see the spelling and go, what?
We're gonna spell it wrong in everything we do until the book comes out, so you'll always be guessing how to spell. But yeah, Jonathan Reed, that is our main character, a smoldering, handsome man.
Will the shirts be Welcome to the Rebellion? They'll be in my Rebellion shop for sure. I don't know if they'll have Welcome to Rebellion on it though. We're gonna make it special with the campaign.
Yeah, this is a new
we wanted to do like, and it's something to give back to like veterans and things like that. So it'd be kind of cool to do like right off the bat. Start off with the good vibes, you know, helping people. Let's start off with a good vibe.
I'm psyched out of my mind. I think people are going to really like it. It's a departure for you now in your 3rd book, because
yeah, this is my favorite one though.
Yeah, this one's a little. Jay and I worked closely together on the story to make sure that we got it just right. We didn't want it to be so sickeningly violent that it made people want to put the book
not
down.
For kids, yeah,
but it's not for kids. That's for sure. There's some guts dropping on the floor and some things like that. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. You know, I think the pirate era, that whole era is just filled with stories of, you know, people with courage, people with pride, people with you know, legend attached to their name. And the coolest part too is, since it's such a rich part of history, this guy is going to run into people who were absolutely well known at the time, you know.
Also in Achromatic Chronicles Green, there's a little someone will have to find it. There's a little nod to the Daughter's Revenge.
Is there?
There's a little Easter egg in there.
Yes, dude, let's go. Let's go.
But
so
you gotta find it.
I'm looking. I'll probably pick it out right off the bat.
Yeah,
I should be able to pick it up.
We gotta let the people do.
Yeah, I love it. But anyway, so I mean, the hope here is that people really love that 1st book, and then we want to move it on to a trilogy. We want to be able to, you know, continue the story. That's our biggest thing. So 1st book's important because we really want everyone obviously to love it, and then we get to do our own Star Wars. Essentially, we get to move it on. We get to make a whole trilogy. Maybe there's a prequel book in there somewhere.
10 books in this whole thing.
Yeah. I just want to create a universe and treat people to a universe like I love Star Wars when it was being taken care of. I want to come back to a universe that I want to live in every time I crack a book or watch a video or whatever the case is. That's the most important thing to me. So absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love it. Jay, I love you, brother. This has been incredible.
It's gonna be awesome.
Chat, I love you guys.
We want to do something. Everyone that's getting a tattoo, we really want to do something because that's incredible. Like 100%. Somehow we got to figure out where we all like meet somewhere.
We got to do a meetup.
Yeah. Like before the book is dropped, so we could do some killer promotions, get you guys in the commercials, all that stuff. Like
that could be fun.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like when is everybody gonna be in the same place with that same tattoo? You know,
it's gonna be awesome, man.
I'm excited. I'm just excited.
When's the release date? We're hoping. I would assume January 2025.
Yeah,
So
Q125. I sound like a Disney exec saying that. Q125 will be in there somewhere.
Jay, have you seen Black Sails? Actually, yes. And on the History of Pirates channel, we are going to be doing a series of live streams on each season of the Black Sails. So we'll do season 1 together, and we'll do season 2, and we'll do season 3, and then do season 4. So we'll knock all that stuff out.
If you want to hear more about that book, because until we get closer, I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking about it on here because it's a Star Wars channel. I'll try to plug it where I can, but definitely go subscribe to the History of Pirates, the other channel. We do live streams over there. You get to see me and Jay and Wicked Virtue and King's Advisors. Everybody's dressed up in all pirate regalia. And we talk about fun. Yeah, we talk about the history of pirates and, different things. So definitely get over there, subscribe to the History of Pirates. Wonderful, wonderful channel.
We're gonna create lore videos for the book and drop them, so you get a little more backstory, but we won't give the whole thing away.
Those will be over there for sure. So
yeah,
when things are going bad, create. That's what you can do.
Tim says, Jay, do you have casting like for the movie? We gotta get the first book out, then we'll see.
Maybe we'll talk about. Hold on for 2 seconds. Wait, I'll be right back.
Wait, does that mean you wants me to talk? Tim, you brought up you brought up an excellent point in the chat. Oh, for Balin. Do you know that there's a group of people that don't want Balin? All right. How do I put this in a way? So I know they're trying to recast Balin's skull, but there's a group of people that are angry with Disney because they didn't recast Black Panther. Like they didn't recast T'Challa. When he passed away. Oh my gosh, what's his name? What's the guy that passed away that played Black Panther? Help me out, chat. So that same group is like, no, you can't recast Balin because you wouldn't do that for Black Panther. So yeah, Chadwick. Thank you, chat. Chadwick Boseman. So they're like, you can't recast if you're not going to recast Black Panther and make him out to be a deadbeat dad, then you can't recast, Balin. You're gonna have to change the story. It's like it's interesting. Like it's an interesting twist. Like how they do that. Like such an interesting twist. So I don't know. Pretty wild. And I don't know what else to do because they have left me in charge of a live stream that I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's pretty wild. So how's everybody doing tonight? I don't know how long I'm going to be solo. Are they serious about that or are they joking? They're pretty upset that they would recast Balin and not recast T'Challa. So, I mean, I guess they got a good point. I guess they got a good point. Talk about Jay stuff. Yeah, I was running out. I was like the tank was drying up.
Tank was on empty. I apologize. This is right. 8:30 is when baby comes out of the bath.
You're good.
Throw in there. Still got to be a dad. Drunk 3PO. X-Wing knows I have a full team of studio artists, sound designers, music composers, and actors/actresses, etc., that can help you both. Are we talking about an animation possibly in the future?
Maybe.
Well, I know of a voice actor that's worked on a couple projects.
I don't know what to say. Like, somebody tried out for a movie that I'm currently in the middle of making now. Who's sitting next to me?
Shit. More on that later. Yeah, no, I think the possibility of being able to move forward and continue to create, especially in this universe, is just like for a nobody like me to be able to tell a story like this and have people be ridiculously excited about it and to be able to create collectibles for that universe is just the coolest thing in the freaking world to me. Like, my inner nerd is exploding out of my chest right now. And the thought that people could read this and check it out and be like, yo, when is book 2? I'm like, oh, my heart is full. I'm so happy. I'm so excited, man. I want to talk about more, but you won't let me. You've got me strangled in this
What do you mean?
NDA.
Go. Well, yeah, we don't want to spoil the story.
I know, but I want to tell the whole story right now on stream. I want to tell everyone everything that happens. But yeah, I got to thank my brother Jay, not only for coming here tonight and filling in for our boy who just vanished out of thin air. I don't know what happened to Moff. I hope he's doing okay. Storm showed up and power went out, and
Yeah.
somehow my
Oh,
mic and
wow.
computer are dead. That's Florida in a nutshell. Florida in a nutshell. Oh, X-Wing, come on, brother. You're not a nobody. I appreciate that. Gronk doesn't know who I am. I don't know if anybody saw Bro Science, but they put
You
like
know
a
who
net.
you are.
They put like a net worth on Ryan Kinnell, and then they did a. Have you ever? Did you watch that Bro Science where we looked you guys up on Gronk?
No, not me.
Oh, so what's the?
I don't want to know.
So what's up then, man? I thought we supported each other and watched each other's content.
I don't like when people do. I don't know.
Darth Bagheera says, lift the gag order. Yes, set me free. Let me speak. I just think it's going to be awesome. I think it's really cool. It's a classic tale that when you pick it up, you're excited. Halfway through, you're dying to know what happens, and then when you're done, you're like, when's the next one?
I think the cool thing is that they are real pirates, and we not tried our best, but we were able to get parts of their real life story in the book while Jonathan Reed is navigating some of his world around what's going on in that time period. So, like, that to me was the coolest part of the entire process of, like, I'd love to have this is my favorite pirate. I like to have him in the story, and this is what happened to him. How can we incorporate this into that? How can Jonathan be a figure that kind of like maneuvers while all this other stuff in history is going on? Of course, it's not going to be 100% accurate
without destroying it, by the way.
Yeah,
Lucasfilm,
yeah.
if you can pay attention to that. That came from a love for me of kind of like the Assassin's Creed stories, where you have this character who you've never read about in a history book, but he's there during events in history, giving his own account of it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, because for those that don't know, history nerd here, major history nerd, and it was just like I have a channel. That's my friend's channel. We all do it. I don't really I don't
kind of a group effort
like a lot of money, but it's the history of pirates, and it's like I just got friends together that like the history, and we just talk about it, and it's cool that we're able to put a story together that people like so much that they're getting it tattooed on their body. So,
that's
and
wild.
yes, that is a crown of thorns. That is a crown of thorns. People are asking, is that really a crown of thorns? Yes. And don't worry, for all you religious people, I reached out to a pastor and a Catholic priest, explained the story. I was like, this isn't sacrilegious, right? Because I'm a Christian. I didn't want to like do anything funny. And they were like, no, man, this is awesome. This is cool. Because one of the things that I really wanted to showcase is that there are you could have a pirate story where pirates get drunk and like sleep around and like and fight and black sails. We're gonna showcase someone that's struggling with their Christian faith and who's also a pirate. I guess that's the best way to describe it. So it's going to be a little twist. It's going to be different. It's going to be different, but not so different that it's not a pirate story. It's definitely a massive pirate story. So
I think some people would hear that and they feel like it's a bit of a turnoff, like a man struggling with his
yeah,
faith.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it adds such an awesome dynamic to it. So when Jay and I sat down, we actually wrote the story. You know, it's super easy to write a one-dimensional pirate. He walked into the bar and he got super drunk with his friends and yo blah blah yo ho, a pirate's life for me. It's more interesting when you're dealing with a crew who's now gone out on shore leave and they're getting hammered, right?
Yeah.
But in the morning you wake up and you're like, yo, we got to beat the quarters, we got to get out of here, and your whole crew is hanging off the chandeliers and the rafters from somewhere. And also dealing with pain. A lot of times it's easy just to, like you get drunk and you forget and you sleep with a lady of the night, a little 2-cent lady in Tortuga and forget. But having to confront that internal pain that you have over something that's happened, I think is another thing that really adds a lot of, dynamism to a character.
And that's the thing that I think we're missing from a lot of our storytelling that we see today that we are just so disappointed in. When you look at like what we were talking with the Acolyte, you have the stars of the show, who I guess essentially is the villain, which is the Acolyte herself, which is May, who one moment she's murdering Jedi for her master, and then she's like, "Oh, my sister's alive. I think I'm gonna go turn myself into the Jedi."
Yeah.
And she was told, well, she goes, "I don't care. I'm gonna turn myself into the Jedi." Literally in the next episode, when she's going back, she fights a Jedi.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to turn herself in anymore, I guess. Then she does. Then she shoots Master Soul, but she literally said she was going to turn herself in. Then she tells her sister, I'm in love, I'm in love with you. Like, I love you. And they're crying and they're holding. And then she's like, the Jedi are terrible people. Let's leave them. But you were literally going to turn yourself in because you don't want to be the bad person anymore. Then you're the bad person again. Then you fight your sister and knock her unconscious, all in a moment. Like, that had to take place within like one night. Right?
Yeah, like literally 6 hours, maybe at
So
best.
that's terrible storytelling. Like, it is just like that's the whole. And then they throw in, just like humans, like when me and X-Wing see fireworks, no matter what's going on in the world, we're like, oh, everything is perfect. Yeah. And so they throw in flashy lightsabers and everyone's like, oh, the show's the greatest thing ever. It's
I'm
like
a victim, bro. I'm a bug. I see lightsabers flashing off and fighting, and I'm like, woo!
You know, same. It's like,
I mean,
Disney sucks. Oh, they're shooting fireworks. Oh my god, it's the greatest.
Yeah. To your point, Jay, I mean, really with that character, the problem is, as much as they have done to try to represent people on screen, and that's been their big push, is they want the representation on screen, they've created a character that nobody can identify with at all. That's the funny thing about Luke is, do you think anybody identifies with a guy who has to like farm moisture out of the air on a desert planet? Maybe me. I mean, I live in the desert, but I certainly...
I think though that showed the beautiful thing that about Luke more, and this is just for me, is that he was, I hate to use this term. No, he was a nobody farm boy that had a bigger purpose in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love that, because I don't care who you are, whatever age, you've always gone through that point where you feel like you're a nobody and nobody notices you and whatever and all that stuff. And that's just who he was. And then he took that role and cared more about his friends than he did. He's like, listen, I had no friends before this. These are my friends. Like, I'm not going to let them suffer for me. Like,
they should have never taken the Biggs part out of A New Hope. They should have never taken the Biggs part out of Star Wars.
Yeah, but it still tells like the great story of Luke, where he's just, I believe in my dad. I believe in my friends. I believe in this. And there's one guy causing the problem. That's the Emperor. And he's not going to turn me. I'm not going to fight my dad. I'm not going to let my friends suffer. I'm not going to do it. Like, those are values that need to be taught to our young people. Like, I 100%. Hate to say it. Now it's all about selfish me. You didn't represent me.
Yeah.
Right? How dare you? There's no face tattooed women.
Yeah. Who's had a Force baby?
I don't know. My head is crooked. I don't know what it is. No, but
So
like those are some amazing, like I'm telling you, like there's a lot of people that feel maybe when they were younger, maybe in today, that they just nobody knows who I am. I'm a nobody. I'm nothing. I live in the desert. There's no one around here. I want to get out of here. Hey, Uncle Owen, I got to get out of here. I want to join. Like, let me get out of here with my friends. And then the emperor was like, you can't keep him here. Most of his friends have gone. It's like we've all had those times where it's like, I got nothing. So a lot of people, they fall into comic books, video games, Legos, things like that to kind of like, pass the void.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, we all have a bigger purpose in this world. We really do. It might not be blowing up the Death Star, but it could be, you know what I mean? It's like there's a maybe it's being a good father. Maybe like whatever it is, it's just it's a bigger purpose in this world. And then you are somebody. And we got to walk in that. Those are some amazing traits, man. That wasn't nothing in the Disney Star Wars stuff. I'm all the Jedi.
The other thing that's cool, I think, about the story is it's not always a straight road to the hero's journey. And I think that's something that we did a really good job of exploring on this one. Star Wars is the hero's journey from a farm to a knight, right? I mean, you could trace that all the way back to medieval times. Sometimes the hero's journey is not a farm boy to a knight. Sometimes you're a knight already. And then it's a winding path to find out who you really are. And that's what I like so much about this story, is that it's not a traditional, it's not, in a sense, the farm boy to a knight. It's something very different. Man, you just let me say some stuff. Let me say a couple things.
Go.
I think if in the end, if I was just to give a summation really quick, I think, the most important thing that we tried to do with this story, is create a universe that you want to live in. You want to be a part of it. You're interested in it, because when you crack open the page, this is something that we talked about with the artist when we had our meeting, was that, he asked a question, can you hear what's going on when you try to create a mental picture of, when you're reading a book? If you're reading the text, can you hear it? And I said, not only can I hear it, I can smell it. I can see it. You put yourself in that moment. And so it was really, really important for me, as we kind of wrote this story, to make sure that you could smell, see, taste, feel the environment of what's going on. But then beyond that, as the story progresses, this is a guy who's, in the Navy and then turns into a pirate. Well, do we have a lot of people here that were in the Navy and then turned into a pirate? I don't think so. I don't think that's our demographic of who wants to be represented on screen. But do we have a way that we can take the morals that were so important to us when we read our stuff, and then also, bring in a little bit of religion there too? The morals that are very important to us as religious people, without stuffing it down someone's face to the point where they feel like they're being told to think something.
No, it's not preachy. It's personal struggle.
It's not. Yeah, and that's all it is.
It's personal struggle. Every Christian struggles with doing the right thing. Every Christian struggles. There's. If you've been a Christian long enough, you've had those questions. Is God even real? Why did God let this happen to me? Why does God let so it's like things like that. That is a lot of people don't want to touch on those struggles as
it's
someone
morality, though. I mean, everybody struggles with morality. Religious or not, morality has always been, something that people have to deal with. And I think they're one and the same, if I'm being perfectly honest. But our book? I don't know. I love it. I struggle. Yeah, I think everybody does. But, I don't think there's any reason why you can't tell a story that has Christian themes. And not.
Yeah, you're messing it up. It's not a Christian theme story.
I know it's not a Christian theme story.
It's a person who has faith, who's struggling in something that he's doing.
Yeah.
With what he thinks is the right thing, and I'm gonna give out too much. That's it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's too hard. It's too hard to describe it. You can't describe it until you get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard
We're
to
gonna
say.
We're gonna end up giving out the whole thing before it even begins.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But anyways, if you couldn't tell, we're pretty excited about this coming out.
Yeah, we are.
We're pretty excited.
When
Maria says,
X-Wing was like putting it all together, he's like, "We're gonna launch this thing in February, right?" I'm like, "Dude, we got like another." I'm like trying to tell him the process, and he's like, "We're starting today, right?" I'm like, "No, calm down. Like, we've got
February
this
last year.
And he's like, "I'll get that." He goes, "I'll get that done in a day." I'm like, "Okay, let's see what happens." And then he's like, "Okay, I get the process.
Yeah, turns out writing takes some time, and the freaking rewrites are a real thing.
Writing, scripting, putting getting
it all together is a whole thing.
Attorneys,
all
that stuff.
Artists. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I would love to say that Jay and I could have just like vomited on a page and it came to life,
know,
but that's just not the way it works. Maria says, make no mistake, Hollywood needed more DEI, but they have mandated it now and basically bastardized it for profit. We swung the pendulum way too far and for the wrong reasons. Agreed. X-Wing is the kind of guy that says U.S. is a Christian nation. I think our Pledge of Allegiance does say one nation under God. I could be mistaken, but that's what I remember.
It does.
Saying. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. Well, here's the one thing I'll tell you. I believe. Jay, do you believe?
Not yet. But make me. Help me.
You don't believe?
In my unbelief.
I don't know. What about chat? Do you guys believe? Does anybody in the chat believe? I don't think they know. How many people do we have here? 184. If you haven't already, first off, hit the like button, please. You have no idea how much it does for our people. We love it. I just dropped the history of pirates back in the chat. Please get down there, subscribe to that channel, and then tell me that you believe in X-Wing. That's it.
I believe.
Believe that we can be something bigger. Believe that we can become a force for good in the Star Wars fandom. A force for good. There are more of us. There are more of us.
Hit
Tell
the
me
button.
you believe. Tell me
bad.
you believe.
My time has come. You must continue your journey without me.
What are you? What? Master! You can't leave me!
You must believe.
Master!
Sorry.